Xi Jinping's military purge signals a high-stakes battle inside China's elite. News analysis. The sudden downfall of two of China's most senior military leaders has fueled speculation that Chinese leader Xi Jinping is entering a decisive, and potentially destabilizing, phase of internal power consolidation. On January 24, China's Ministry of National Defense announced that Zhang Youxia, a Politburo member and vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, and Liu Zhenli, a CMC member and chief of the Joint Staff Department, were under investigation for serious violations of discipline and law. The announcement marked one of the most dramatic purges at the top of the People's Liberation Army in decades. According to Wen Rui, a China current affairs commentator based in South Korea, Xi's move amounts to an open confrontation with three powerful groups long embedded within the Chinese Communist Party, the military establishment, the so-called princeling elite, and retired party elders. Xi Jinping has finally opened Pandora's box, when wrote on X, "What comes next may leave people stunned." Zhang Youxia's deep roots in the military. At the center of the storm is Zhang, widely regarded as one of the most deeply entrenched figures in the PLA. Zhang served in the military for more than 5 decades and is the son of Zhang Zongxuan, a Revolutionary-era general whose influence dates back to the CCP's early military history. According to one, the Zhang family's networks within the PLA span generations, creating what he described as an extraordinarily complex web of loyalty and patronage. Xi Jinping is effectively choosing a fight to the death with a massive force, one said, suggesting that the scope of Zhang's influence goes far beyond his formal titles. When divided, those potentially affected into two broad groups, officers who actively opposed Xi and aligned with Zhang, and those who did not openly challenge Xi but maintained close ties to the Zhang family. Both groups are now within Xi Jinping's strike zone, he said, adding that Xi is unlikely to bother to make a distinction between them. Even those who were not directly involved in factional struggles may now feel compelled to act out of fear of becoming collateral, according to one. Xi will not let them go. It's better to kill by mistake than to let anyone escape. When warned that Xi's actions could trigger widespread turmoil within the armed forces. To eliminate future threats, Xi will aim to uproot everything, he said. That kind of thinking is bound to cause massive waves inside the military. In Wen's assessment, Xi is increasingly treating the PLA's senior ranks as potential enemies. He's almost positioning himself in opposition to the military itself, Wen said. Do people really think these officers will simply sit and wait to be arrested? Princelings and party elders under pressure. Beyond the military, Wen identified two other groups he believes Xi is now confronting. The first is the princelings, descendants of the CCP's revolutionary leaders who traditionally wield disproportionate influence within the party state. If Xi can purge a princeling who is the first-ranked vice chairman of the CMC, he said, then the princelings have effectively lost their final line of defense. Wen suggested that fear is now widespread among this elite group, with some potentially seeing confrontation as a matter of survival. The third group, according to one, consists of retired party elders. He pointed to the dramatic scene at the CCP's 20th Party Congress, when former leader Hu Jintao was publicly escorted out of the closing session, a symbol of Xi's willingness to humiliate and sideline former power centers. Xi will not hesitate to strike hard at elder figures who supported Zhang Youxia behind the scenes, Wen said. The outcome is not difficult to imagine. A gamble with the party's foundations. Wen argued that these three groups, the military, princelings, and party elders, form the core pillars of CCP rule. The PLA, often described by the party as its lifeline, is central to regime stability. Yet, the current state of the CMC underscores how far the purge has gone. Of the CMC's 7 members, only 2 remain in place, Xi himself, as chairman, and vice chairman Jiang Xingmin. Among active duty generals, only 4 remain at the rank of full general, including Jiang Xingmin, Defense Minister Dong Jun, and 2 theater commanders promoted late last year. From Xi's perspective, there is no turning back, Wen said. Once he started, there was only one road left, to keep going, no matter how dark it gets. Wen suggested that other party factions, long resentful of Xi's concentration of power, may either align against him or choose to stand aside. He said the number of people genuinely willing to help Xi is extremely small. In Wen's assessment, Xi's escalating internal battles could mark the beginning of the CCP's downfall. The removal of two of China's top generals underscores Wen's view that Xi's grip on power is becoming increasingly reliant on purges, and that the risks of internal backlash may be rising accordingly.